So we're going to drop our first relay. We're almost at our periapsis here. I'm hoping that I turn down the decoupling force on this. Please tell me that I did. I think I did because I didn't even hear a noise there. Can I? No, it's still attached. Oh, decouple. I'm pushing jettison. Decouple. There we go. So it made a noise. Didn't push up too violently, so that's exactly what I'm shooting for. Go for our little satellite here. So this little satellite is working off of a little tank with a little bit of monopropellant in it. And this is one of those place anywhere linear RCS thrust reports. So it works completely on RCS. And what I want to do, so that's why the delta V numbers are all messed up. It thinks it's got 0 delta V, but it doesn't. It's fine. It's great. So this is going to be, let's rename this. This is Moon part. How do you command? Is it rename? Rename vessel. Moon 5G Moon Relay A. And the next one will be B, and then the next one will be C. Okay. So what I want, I'm just trying to decide whether it's worth my time to set up a maneuver. I don't think it is. So we're just going to get ourselves down to periapsis, and we're just going to reduce our orbital period down to 3 hours exactly. And I'll take another shot at explaining what I'm doing once I've done that. And then I think it'll make sense. Okay, here we go. Putting that on retrograde. What's nice about using monoprop with Kerbalism is monoprop engines have an infinite number of ignitions. They never fail. At least to my knowledge. Okay, so we are retrograde. I put on RCS. I have this toggled to the throttle. So as I throttle up, this should go down. So let's see what happens here. Oh yeah, this is going to work great. This is going to work great. I'm just going to get really close to periapsis. These are the biggest relays I got. I'm being claimed. These aren't the 100G relays. Nope, they're the biggest ones I got though. Science be slow with Kerbalism. At least with me. My experience, science be slow. Okay, here we go. And again, it's the period that's really what you're looking at. Oh, I overdid it by a second, so we're going to turn down the throttle limiter. There we go. Flip this around. Oops, flip it around this way. Actually, I should be looking at Kerbal Engineer. It gives me the period. It gives me the period to the 1,000th of a second, which I'll never get. But oh my gosh, I went too far the other way. Really tiny on the thrust limiter. There, it's as small as it goes. Okay, go around the other way. Let's try this. Ah, here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Okay. I'm looking at the Kerbal Engineer number at the top. That gets me the period much more accurately. Nice. 33,000th of a second too much, but I don't care. I flat out... Oh, there we go. There's our first relay. It's in the orbit that it needs to be. And just to sort of show, we can do this. If I set it as a target... Oh, no. Let's go back to our other ship. Sorry. Can I go back to my other ship? Yeah. Go back to this guy. Can I get a... Yeah, set it as a target. Let's turn on. Now, for those people that weren't understanding what I was doing, I'm hoping this will finally make some sense. So I've turned off everything except for the satellite I just dropped and our transfer vehicle. This orbit has a period of 3 hours. The blue orbit has a period of 4 hours. So what ends up happening is, as we time warp, right, this satellite's getting around faster than this satellite precisely by 1 hour. So by the time this guy, which is us, is back to here, Let's slow down when we get close to periapsis. Back down to periapsis, right? We are now 1 hour behind this satellite, which means that we are exactly, because this period is 3 hours, we're exactly a third of an orbit behind this satellite. That's the whole idea. Okay, so let's get closer to periapsis. Again, we'll start doing all this stuff a few minutes before periapsis. Actually, Kerbal Engineer is giving me the phase angle here. The phase angle is the angle between the satellites. It is very close. It's 239 and change, very close to 240. It's measuring it this way. Actually, it's measuring it backwards this way, 240 degrees. But that means this angle here is 120, which is which is a third of a circle, which is what I was shooting for. So I'm happy. It's good. Okay, let's get rid of some satellites. Let's get rid of the next one. So, decouple, not jettison. There it is. Now, this is a little bit goofy. Let's see if we can just... Yeah, that works. Just do that. Yep. You're free, little satellite. You are free. Okay, so again, we are shooting for a period. There's nothing to do. I keep thinking I gotta expand stuff. I don't. I'm shooting for a period of 4 hours with this guy. So we need to get closer to periapsis. We're still about 4 minutes away, so let's get ourselves closer. And unfortunately, still the detaching kind of messes up things a little bit, but it'll be close enough. It'll be close enough. All right. So, again, period is currently just under 4 hours. I want that period to be 3 hours. So, we're just going to, again, just a little tiny engine here. Just using monopropellant. This is a tiny, itsy bitsy little burn that I'm doing. Very small. Like, I think I budgeted it out something like 30 meters per second, this little burn. And given how little tiny this satellite is, it's really very, very small little burn. Hardly any fuel is being used, I guess is what I'm saying. Okay. I've got to get closer. Right on top of periapsis. I'm looking at the numbers on the top, which I know, depending on your screen, may not be readily visible. But I'm 10 seconds shy of getting this down to 3 hours. So again, I'm going to turn this thrust limiter down to almost nothing. Let's try that. So 3 hours and 7 seconds, 6 seconds, 5 seconds, 4, 3, 2, 1. There we go. 15 thousandths of a second difference. By the way, a trick. If you really want this to be exactly 3 hours, my advice, go into your persistent save file and you can make the period exactly what you want it to be and make all of them exactly the same, and then they'll never drift on you. You'll never have to do any kind of satellite maintenance again. All right, this is the last one. This satellite doesn't detach. It's going to stay attached to this. It's just what it is. So what we're going to do, I said this was going to do one more burn, and I lied. It's got to, or was out of burns, but it actually has to do one more. So now 5. Let's clear the targets. Go back to target. There we go. So we're going to do one more orbit here. You can now see all. Let's put. I got so many relays around here. Like, there's just relays everywhere. I've gone berserk, and some of them have drifted out of position, and some of them have not. But I'm not someone who really cares. There's definitely good enough. Okay, there we go. There we go. Retrograde. Oh, you can set them in the debug menu. Very good. Reborn in the chat. Yes, that makes a lot of sense. If you just press Alt and F12, for some reason it's not coming up for me. Okay, my debug menu is not coming up. I don't know why. I'm hitting Alt F12 and nothing is happening, but you should be able to do it from there. But for some reason I'm not getting it. Okay, I still got 7 ignitions. I hope this won't die on me. That would be bad. I don't know how much thrust I need to give it. Let's try it with that. If it's close enough, it's close enough. I'm certainly in the I'm just shooting. I don't care about getting it exact anymore. Okay, and looking at the numbers up at the top, about 40 seconds away from periapsis. I want to bring this period down to 3 hours. Okay, so I am burning. My thrust limiter is so low you can't really tell. Need more. Less. I'm not going to kill the engine because I don't want to use up more ignitions than I already have. Last thing I need is for this engine to fail. So at about 3 hours and 25 minutes. 22. 15, 10 minutes, 5 minutes, 2 minutes. Oh, I got 5 seconds to go. Let's go with one more ignition here. So I'll put that at 0.5. Yeah, okay. 2 seconds. Fine. 23 thousandths of a second difference. Let's shut down this engine. You did good. You did good, little engine. Okay, so that's it. So this still has 915 meters per second left in that vehicle. There is my very, very messy satellite relay network. Which one's the one we're on? Which is us? Oh, I forgot the name the B and the C. This one's C, and then I forgot the name B, but I'm not going back to it. Heck with that. The heck with that, I say. This one's C. And I'll probably never rename B. Where is C? There's us there. So it's this satellite, and that satellite we just dropped. Okay. With that done, let's see. We are still 2 days away from our gas tanker burn that we need to do. Let's get to our station. That's what we're going to do next. So we got a station here. Let's switch to the station. And it's time to rotate this crew home. So we got 5 Kerbals up here. They are working on, let's aim our... Where are we here? Aim the camera. Too many things. There we go. They're working on the science lab, processing science, but unfortunately, I think... Yeah, there's still surface samples here. I must have processed some of them. Oh, and the lab turned off? Why did you turn off? I think the lab turned off when the hard drive got full and it didn't turn itself back on. Because now I can see the hard drive is empty. I think this is what frustrated me before. What if I got into this automation stuff and when the hard drive is full, in other words, it's below 10%, I want you to... Oh my god, there's so many things. Laboratory. I want the laboratory off. I keep forgetting you can automate these things. And then when the hard drive is empty, in other words, it's above 85% free space, I want the laboratory to turn on. I bet you that would have fixed the problem, but I didn't do that. So what we're going to do is get everybody home. Now we have vessels. Who's going to go with who? Let's see. We have... Who's our pilots? We have Jeb. We have Lieutenant Kim. So Jeb and Lieutenant Kim are our pilots. So we're going to put... I don't know which vessel is which anymore. These two vessels are sisters of each other. So I've made my life way too complicated. That is for sure. Okay, so we want to get all these vessels home. I don't want to leave vessels up here without crew to fly them. So we're going to transfer Jeb into here. And we're going to transfer Lieutenant Kim into here. And then we're going to transfer Bill. Bill's been with Jeb way too long. So Bill's going to go with Lieutenant Kim. Okay, and then we got Hector, Mac the G. Oh, and then we got our two scientists. Let's put both scientists with Jeb. Jeb, you're getting the scientists. Just shaking up the crews. Shaking up the crews. And we're going to head these folks back home. In their two ships, and we'll send up a crew rotation. Okay, double check the comms and check the, I'm seeing that comment. Check the transmission speed. I don't think... Does it say it here? Science rate is 380 kilobytes per second. Is there a transmission? I don't know. I don't know. I don't feel... You know what? I'm getting to the point where it's like, you know what? Let's just bring the samples home. Speaking of which, the samples right now, where are they? Samples are still in the... what do you call that thing? A lander. So I think we can just transfer our data. There should be a button. I shouldn't have to EVA anybody. Transfer data here. And now those samples should be in that capsule. Good, because gotta make sure the samples come home with us. So forget the lab, we're just gonna go home. Okay, the last thing I want to do is Bill being our only engineer. I'm gonna do a last minute check and make sure all of our engines... whoa, grab. Is Bill got monopropellant? I forgot. Oh my god. That glitch is gonna kill me. I swears that glitch is gonna kill me. Bill has no monopropellant. Like, it won't fit in there? You're terrible. Can I reach any other inventory containers? I'm really kind of... Okay, Bill... They're bored again, Bill. Gonna have to transfer Bill. There's a glitch with Kerbalism that steals the monoprop from their... EVA packs. And what you need to do... Yeah, I just transferred Bill over to here, EVA'd him from here. He still has no monopropellant, but then what he needs to do is you take his pack. There it is. Somewhere as well, he's got a parachute. I should find that. And you take his pack, you put it in here, then you bring it back, and this is now full. And why it works that way, I have no idea. But it's annoying. Okay, Bill. We gotta leave. We're leaving this place. Okay, so we're just gonna check all our engines. Because Bill, being an engineer, is capable of servicing these engines and extending their lives. So we got 4 engines down here. Okay, that engine's fine. So these engines actually seem to be okay. Okay. I remember upgrading them, and they probably have a ton of ignitions on them. Okay, so those engines are fine. Then we'll go this way and check what's our more important engines, because these are the engines we're going to be using right now. Okay, that one's fine. I think I might have serviced it already, but I want to make sure. And this engine over here, the last one. It's practically new. Okay, good. So all the engines are good. I think Bill was over here, if I'm not mistaken. On this one. Grab. And board. Okay, for some reason he's not boarding. Board. There he goes. Okay. Now I want to take a look at our inventory containers, which are completely not showing up. Where's Bill's parachute? Bill's lost his parachute. Parachute inventory. No parachute there. Fortunately, I have inventory containers like everywhere. Nothing in there. I mean, I could just send Bill without the parachute. Chances are he won't need it. But then, you know what? There it is! Success! There's Bill's parachute. Okay. And Bill, I think, is in here, right? Bill's inventory. There he goes. Get Bill his parachute back. Good stuff. Okay, and just make sure everybody else has their parachute. So Bill's in here. Lieutenant Kim has a parachute. There's probably nobody in this back one. Nope, there's not. Cool, cool. Alarm clock out of the way. And we'll check on Jebediah. That's the inventory for the thing. Where's Jeb's? Jeb. There he is. Inventory. He's got his parachutes. And our two scientists. Hector. Hector's missing a parachute, so it's somewhere. Oh, I bet you I know where it is. Bet you it's down in here. I'm so terrible with keeping track of their stuff. There it is. Hector's parachute. And Mac the G. Everybody's got a parachute. Okay. Happy, happy, happy. Happy. Now, next step in all this is, oh my gosh, we are very close to the right time to get away. I'm in a polar orbit, so leaving from the moon isn't always going to be, but the time to leave from the moon is when the orbit's in the same plane of this orbit is in the same line, so to speak, as the moon's direction around Kerbin. It's very close. So we're going to blow. We're going to blow right now. Let's open up TAC Fuel Balancer. And make sure they are all resourced up. This takes always so much time. I want food now. I got to figure out which vessel is which. So this is highlight. Okay, so this is vessel 9. And this is vessel 11. Okay, that works. So vessel 9 and vessel 11, we're filling up your food all the way down. So many individual containers. I remember when I built these things, I didn't have the large containers, so all I did was fill it full of the small containers. Okay. So and then we just got to go through all of these and do vessel 9 and vessel 11. Oh my gosh, so many buttons. Okay, liquid fuel, vessel 9, in, 11, in. Thank God for TAC Fuel Balancer. There might be parachutes back at the, whoops. Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa. Oh, this one I don't... Oh, my gosh. I pushed fill, and that's... I was just going down the list, and I got to Vessel 13. That's this thing. I don't want to... Oh, my gosh. No wonder I was suddenly having trouble with filling their tanks when I was actually filling this big Rockomax thing here, too. That was dumb. There may be parachutes down at the space stations in low Kerbal orbit. I don't know, but it's best not to be... it's best not to make... to be sure. And they certainly don't need parachutes up here, for obvious reasons. Okay. So, just waiting for this one tank to fill here. Good, good, good. Okay. That was liquid fuel. Nitrogen, vessel 9 and vessel 11. In. Nitrogen is used to pressurize the capsules. I'm going to do a little time warping here. There we go. Okay. Boop, boop, boop. Okay, scrolling along the list. Oxidizer. There's no oxidizer in those vehicles because of the nuclear engines. Oxygen. Okay. Well, I want to, why not leave the food up there? I want to make sure that they have enough food for their journey, so I'm just very much in the habit of just filling it up. I mean, I don't want to suddenly set them off and then find out they only got, an hour of food left. So the safest thing to do is just fill it up. I believe these vessels have a month worth of resources, but then when I bring them, the next crew back, they'll come back up with a month's worth of resources, so it'll all work out. Okay, monopropellant. Imagine if I was doing this by right-clicking on tanks. I think I would go insane. There we go. That's full. I don't know what rocket is. Shielding doesn't get used up. Wastewater. They don't even hold the waste. Waste atmosphere. Oh, no. Well, there's nothing there. Wastewater. What's waste? Oh, that's... Oh, I know the difference between wastewater and... We will get rid of the... Actually, you know what? We should fill up on the waste and bring it back. And bring it down to the surface with us, really. Well, there's hardly any left anyway. There we go. I was just thinking, like, waste atmosphere, that's carbon dioxide. There's nothing there. Waste. Oh, that's because there's processes, I think. And they can't carry solid waste. That's an oversight on my part. And finally, water. In. We're done. We're done. Oh my gosh, okay. Undock. Aims the camera. Undock. Undock numero 1. Undock numero 2. We're going to fly 2 ships. This is going to be fun. Okay. So, who do we get first? You. So, Lieutenant Kim and Bill, you are first. Backing away from the station. Now, I think, if I'm not mistaken, didn't I change my action groups? So that 7 is now... No. Okay. So, down here somewhere are a set of reaction wheels. I always promise myself that I'm going to... there we go. Toggle reaction wheels. Done. Okay, so now 7 should toggle reaction wheels. 7. SAS on, RCS off. So is this working? Yep, it is. Good stuff. Okay, so that's fine. Let's get the Jeb, Hector, and Mac back away. You didn't redock, did you? No, you didn't. That's nice. Okay. Again, edit those action groups so that from here on in, every time I press 7, toggle reaction wheels, done. Okay, RCS off. So, these guys should all be good. I should be... There's all their resources. Yeah, they're fine. Okay. All right, Jeb. Let's show everybody how this is done. So we need to go back to Kerbin. So basically, that's like about here. This burn's coming up in 3 minutes. I think I'm gonna do one on this orbit, and I'll do the other one on the preceding orbit. I know that's. I think the longer I wait, the worse it's gonna be. But I really think. I don't want to do them both within seconds of each other. So, let's see here. Go like that. Just prograde. I'm not going to get fancy. Just going to go like this. We're going to set this to about an altitude of 45 degrees. Or 45 kilometers, I'm sorry. And we'll do some aero braking to get back into low orbit. Alright, so that's coming up in just a couple of minutes. Let's fire up this engine. And let's set it on the maneuver node. It is going, right? It doesn't appear to be. Do I have to hit 7? There it goes. A little RCS to just sort of clear the station here. You know what, let's get rid of alarm clock for now. There we go. Just make sure we're not going to hit the station. That would be bad. Open up KOS. We are in the SN1. That is this one. And we are going to run our maneuver execution script. Okay, that guy's ready. Okay. Hello there, Soda Spiel. What is up? We have 5 Kerbals in 2 ships that we need to bring back to Kerbin. That is what's up. So I just spent, I think, like 10 minutes just transferring resources into these ships. But now Jebediah, along with our 2 scientists, Hector and Mac the G, are going to be doing our first burn. And then we're going to go do one more orbit. And then the sister ship here is going to basically do the same thing. Docking and undocking tends to nuke action groups. Yeah, that's what I'm kind of... Oh well, whatever. I'm just tired of going in here and... it might not work. We'll see. Has anybody made a good Artemis 1? I don't tend, as people can see, to really build replicas of things. I just like to do things. Though, here's something. Speaking of Artemis 1, I always get these requests from people to build Apollo-style missions, which I get. You want to emulate the Apollo mission, you know, to go out there with a separate lander and a command module, and they go out to the moon, dock together, and then you detach the lander, you know, go down, But that's by no means the only way to do a moon mission. And in fact, This mission, although the orbits are not the same as what you would get with Artemis and the Lunar Gateway, is more what Artemis is going to be all about. There's going to be the Lunar Gateway Station. Artemis is designed to go from Earth to the Lunar Gateway Station, docked with the Lunar Gateway Station. The plan is to have a lander, which still, unfortunately, has to be built, but, you know, one thing at a time. And, you know, Artemis docks with the Lunar Gateway Station, and then the lander undocks and goes down to the surface. And in my mind, that if you plan on continually landing, that's the way to do it. So, although this is by no means an Artemis recreation, the way I'm performing my moon landings with this is far closer to what the plan is for Artemis than what you would typically see with people doing these more kind of Apollo-style missions. So maybe once Artemis kind of gets rolling and people really start to see what Artemis is all about, we will start to see more people saying, hey, I should build more space stations. And I'm like, yeah, you should. I love space stations. Anyway, there we go. That was my Artemis rant. How are we doing here? So our burn's complete. How did that work out? Oh, that's lovely-dovely. I love that. That's perfect. Okay, good. So we're gonna line up our solar panels with my silly little script that does that. If I built the thing right, works right. This script, by the way, takes a look at the orbit that you're in and lines it up in such a way so that, here's thinking about it, that no matter how you're oriented, the solar panel will always get good exposure. Did a good job. See, it's right along the galaxy there. Okay, good. That's good. We can put our SAS back on, and we can set an alarm for the sphere of influence change, which is coming up in an hour and a half. And now it is time to get to our sister craft here.